Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, clouds of all ages, welcome to Sanctum Forecast number 24, where we are going to cover CLOUD-006 with our very good friends, and I can't wait to share these very special guests. I am, of course, your very special Chief Vibes Officer over at Sanctum, Eno. Very good to see you all. And why are we here? Well, every single time we're here because we want to talk about all the things in the Sanctosphere. And what does that exactly mean? Well, it means that we want to talk about the most bullish news that's over in the Sanctosphere. Not only that, but also the most delightful products that are being built on chain, as well as the Sanctum governance machine. That definitely is going to be a star of the show today. And of course, we're doing it all with the most earnest Cloud fam. Thank you for everyone that is tuning in to the stream. We know that it has been a very, very spicy couple of days, and we can't wait to break down all the stuff going on with CLOUD-006. And of course, we're here to celebrate together as one big family, because if you're not having a good time, then what are you doing here? Of course, we have a couple of house rules. And number one, we want you to hype up the chat. Number two, we want you to think long term. We don't like short term thinking around here. Number three, we want you to be thoughtful and kind. Sure, we might disagree from time to time, but that doesn't mean that we can't be civil. And last but not least, as I said before, we want you to have a wonderful time. So just a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, we have our Luma page. So please scan this QR code if you never want to miss anything that's happening in the Sanctum universe. This includes, of course, Halloween pickleball. Fun fact, my birthday is on Halloween. So if you are over in Dink Avenue at Avenue 25, I believe this is over in Malaysia, you can play paddleball with not only Solana builders, but also the Pengu ecosystem. And of course, we have $50 worth of USDC to the best forecast thread on X. And the winner for this week is going to be Nenye. She is a 6-time winner. She's done a wonderful job breaking down these very, very long forecasts so that anybody on the timeline that can read the thread can also understand what we've been talking about, because not everybody can stick around for an hour to figure out what we're talking about here. And of course, let's talk about today's agenda. Number one, we're going to start with big, warm welcome with some very special guests. And of course, we have updates to Funtarchy. But first and foremost, we got to cover the broad strokes of the CLOUD-006 proposal. If you scan this QR code, you can see the proposal for yourself. And the cloud acquisition proposal for CLOUD-006 is quite simple. It's, should Sanctum sell 13.7 million cloud from the community reserve to DeFiance Capital? So that's about 5% of the cloud in the community reserve. And I'd like to start by lowering the temperature in the room, and let's just start with the facts, right? These are the facts as we understand them. Number one, we acknowledge that the process was different than usual, right? Usually we follow an IDDV framework, which means we have deliberation, drafting, and then of course a vote, right? And the original plan, to be very clear, was actually to do a 7-day vote to compensate for the fact that we did not have the deliberation period. This, unfortunately, was a technical issue between MetaDAO and ourselves. Unfortunately, MetaDAO proposals are constrained to 3 days. And so our original plan of doing a 7-day vote to compensate for the lack of deliberation, it just didn't play out this time. And as to why we didn't want to do deliberation for this particular proposal, this one was a bit of a sensitive and a weird one. In fact, we had quite a few conversations internally about how exactly to handle this, because it is a question of whether or not a liquid fund can purchase tokens. You have to be really careful that people don't get front run, or the price of cloud, deviates to unwanted price if there's deliberation before, right? So really the intention was to be fair to the seller. And of course, another thing too, people have pointed out is that, Defiance Capital reached out to us over in mid-September. And I would like to just add over here that the legal review and the KYC took a lot longer than we expected. It was also smack dab in the middle of the Sanctum offsite as well as Token 2049. And so at the time when they approached us, the price of Cloud was actually trading around like 10 to 14 cents. So 12 cents was actually right in the middle. And in fact, at certain periods of our discussion, they actually would have been buying at a premium. So, legal review and KYC did take longer than expected. But to be really clear, and this is, I think, what's super important here, this is a vote, guys. Like, I don't really understand, all the consternation here, because really, if we wanted to do it differently, we could have just done it ourselves, right? But Sanctum is a revenue generating business. We saw no need to sell cloud tokens from the team reserve, but we wanted to be respectful to DeFiance Capital and pose the question to the community, as well as, most importantly, guys, liquid funds are publicly bullish on cloud. And in this specific case, we're talking about DeFiance Capital. And that's the thing that we were trying to signal with this proposal, is that we have folks who believe in the long-term value and vision of Sanctum, and by extension, cloud. So like that is really what matters here, is that we brought this up to a vote. It is purely your decision. If you don't want it, that's okay. That's fine. But we also, in the process, wanted to let you guys know that there are folks out there who are very, very publicly bullish on cloud. So without further ado, we're going to be getting into big warm welcome with two very special guests. Of course, we have our illustrious leader, FP, the Chief Cloud over at Sanctum, and Eugene from DeFiance Capital. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, thank you for having us. Thank you for calling us. Yeah.
Yes, thanks so much,
Hey,
everyone. Thanks, for the warm introduction, and really happy to be here.
yeah, I think one of the best things that you can do, especially if folks don't know who you are, is just to introduce yourself, right? So, like, FP needs no introduction, but Eugene,
Of
like, tell us
course.
a little bit about yourself. I think you
Sure,
do
sure.
investments over at Defiance Capital, right? Is that your official title, investments?
That's correct. That's correct. So yeah, thanks everyone for your time. Yeah, and I can see there's a lot of discourse happening in Discord. Yeah, in the past couple of days, and I think I owe everyone an introduction of what Defiance Capital is, and yeah, we are a liquid fund based in Asia, one of the largest one, and we have been actively investing in crypto since 2018, 2019. The founder of Defiance is Arthur, based in Singapore, and he's known as a crypto OG with a lot of we have a lot of investments made in the very OG period of crypto. And that includes our investment in Cloud Sanctum in 2021. So um, and I want to highlight a couple of things. Like number one, like we are long term, very aligned with the team. We are known as the Diamond Hand Funds, and in fact, um, we haven't sold a single cloud token, and in fact, we have been adding it like since 2021. So that part of us, I want to be sure. And on top of that, yeah, we like this proposal. Of course, we want to speak with FP and the team about the acquisition. But the team is, in my opinion, the most earnest team in the space, because if we propose to any other founder in the space, they would have taken the deal on a heartbeat, but not FP. Jay and the rest of the team. So that's why we love them so much. And yeah, and one of the reason we propose this piece is also to signal our public bullishness on cloud. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you. There you go. Back to you.
Yeah, no, I'd actually like to circle back to what is your interest in Sanctum, and actually a little bit more about Defiance Capital. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to roll it back just a little bit, right? So FP, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about, our relationship with Defiance Capital. What have we worked on with them in the past? What are we looking to do with them in the future? Just give her a founder's perspective, right, of what it's been like to, build a relationship with Defiance Capital over time.
Yeah, so Defiance is a very, very well respected fund. We go way back. So Arthur, they invested in us when we were Socian right back in 2021. And so they've been very patient. Obviously, the 2 years of the bear market, it was a big delay, but nonetheless they were very patient, and yeah, we really go way back, and I think Defiance is like one of the funds that we respect a lot. I think that they are very sharp, and there are many times where I think they could have, there was some unpleasantness with the three arrows thing, right? But Defiance came out of that immensely stronger. So for that, we respect them a lot. Yeah. Yeah, and so Eugene, to my chagrin, he has invited me to pickleball many times, but I've always had to decline him
And tennis,
because I'm very
especially.
yeah. I've always had to decline him, unfortunately, but I will at some point take him up on this offer. So I promise.
Yes, yes. I swear, like every single time I invite him for tennis, pickleball, any sports, um, uh, originally FP always say, yeah, sure, maybe. And then in the end, he always got caught up with work and he couldn't come. I think it has happened like 7 times in a row.
Yeah, he's blasting me on the on the podcast right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to highlight how hardworking you are, which we love, which is the part we love about you. I
No,
think.
I will definitely come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, just like what is your interest in Sanctum? And like we also have one question from community, which is like, yes, what is the long-term plan with the tokens for Defiance? Well, I'd actually like to protect Eugene here a little bit. And what I mean by that is that like, no, he cannot disclose, long-term what they're going to do with the tokens because that runs into a little bit of like legal issues. But here's what I can say, and let's just talk about historically, right? Eugene and the team over at Defiance has held Cloud this entire time, all the way from 60 cents down to 6 cents, and they haven't sold a single Cloud, right? So I'm not saying that past behavior is going to be indicative of future behavior, but what I will say is that in the past, right, Eugene and the team have been very bullish on Cloud. And in fact, again, what is the crux of this proposal? The crux of this proposal is like, we like the Sanctum team and what they're doing so much and the fundamentals so much that we would like to buy more, right? And again, another thing I just like to hammer this one more time. When they first approached us, 12 cents was a very reasonable price that was trading at some certain points in our discussion, actually at a premium for what the on the market price was, right? So Eugene, I mean, like I think it's very clear that you are long-term bullish on Sanctum. This is not a short-term play for you folks, right?
If I will sort of
Very
interject
much so.
here, I think Defiance is a very fundamentals focused fund, right? And so they talk a lot about sort of like what is the most important. It's less about narrative. It's more about kind of like, can we continue to generate revenue, right? Long-term revenue. So yeah, I mean, I guess Eugene can can expand more about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, happy to. I think the question posed on the slide is what is your interest in Sanctum? I briefly explained this in Discord when answering some of the community questions. But in our opinion, like Sanctum is a critical part of the Solana infrastructure, perhaps the most important one because it literally powers the liquidity engine at Solana. Like right now, you have so many different parties using Sanctum LSTs to create their own version of stake Solana. Like and with various upcoming Sol deities, digital asset treasuries, like we can foresee like literally everyone will be using Sanctum LSTs, and it will and Cloud will be at the centerpiece of it. So that's why we are extremely bullish on Cloud. But on top of that, I think FP and the team also foresee that there could be a ceiling on the market share of LSTs in Solana is only you can only grow it to so high, and that's why I think they are vertically integrated, trying to vertically expand within the Solana ecosystem. And like to us, this is such a it's such a great foresight from the team, like to be able to see this in advance and build towards it. Yeah, we like the team a lot. In case it's not clear already, and and on top of what have said, like we have held through all the way, and in fact we think it's extremely it's at a really good valuation now, and we have been adding a lot of it, like in the past periods. So there you go. That's our interest in Sanctum.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eugene. And again, like I'd like to put this up again. Like, why put up this proposal, right? Like you and I actually talked about this right before the stream, right? Part of it, of course, was you had approached us, and like, what was their answer? Like, you said like, we would like to buy more tokens directly from the team, right? Like, what was their
Yeah.
response, Eugene?
The team say no. We want to keep our tokens to ourselves because we love our tokens so much.
Right. Um, so then that kind of begs the question, right? Like, if you couldn't buy the tokens from us, it's like, why did we collaborate with you? And FP, maybe you can chip in here, right? To put up this proposal. There's actually kind of like a dual meaning to this proposal beyond just buying the tokens, and it has to do with signaling. So either of you can take this question, but like, we've already talked about this like ad nauseum internally as to like why to put up this proposal.
So
Yeah.
we collaborated with DeFiance, right? Okay, well, one of the things that we really wanted to do is that let's talk about the long-term vision of Cloud and of Sanctum more generally, right? I really want Cloud, to be an ownership coin where people really like control, like it's not just DAO theater, right? But like the Cloud holders actually mean something. I think one of the things that we wanted to move towards is that Cloud holders control at least part of not just cloud emissions, but also USDC as well. And this is part of like one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to have the potential to move towards that progressive on-chainification or progressive cloud ownership. So that was like the first reason that we thought that it would be great to do a proposal like this. Because the second reason we wanted to do, and I think Eugene can put it as well, which is that we wanted to tell the world that, hey, like we're open for business, right? We want DeFiance was very willing to put their money where their mouth is and to say that we are bullish on cloud, and we want to let the world know. And so putting this in public and also putting a costly signal, right, which is that DeFiance would have been prepared to buy, and not just saying that they're bullish, they are prepared to buy. And that we thought that those would be a very strong signal for the community and to the world more generally.
Mhm. Yeah. Sorry, should I add something to here? I mean, that's in fact, yeah, the two reasons that we put out this proposal. Yeah. Yeah. Number one is to
Yeah.
acquire more tokens, and number two is to do a public signal, because this is, in our opinion, like in a lot of the tokens that we invest into, like this is quite an important part, because it shows that some tokens are completely untouchable by liquid funds, like whether they're based in Asia or US, because the fundamentals are not good, and your LPs, or in this case, it's your limited partners, who provides funds to your funds. It's not liquidity pool. That they will probably not be very happy if you invest in certain coins. But yeah, Cloud is one of those tokens which is like very liquid fund friendly, and has great fundamentals. And we want to signal to the crypto sphere that yeah, liquid funds are quite bullish on Cloud token and ready to buy more.
Yeah. We have an interesting question from the community over here. Is will there be another vote to get it up to have Defiance buy cloud tokens if this one fails? I don't think so. I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong live, but I think really the main intention here was to, and again, when they first approached us in December, 12 cents was actually like right in the median, and if at certain points like traded, like would have been a purchase at a premium, right? And we obviously you can't do a future facing TWAP. You have to do a TWAP looking backwards, correct? And it's just very clear that we're trying to signal here that Defiance and as a liquid fund is very, very bullish on Cloud and Sanctum. I think that that mission has been accomplished for more or less.
Oh yeah, yeah. One way or the other, it was accomplished.
I think
Yes.
what I will say that this proposal, like it wasn't perfect, so I will be the first to admit that obviously we wanted to get the proposal up as much sooner, but for various reasons like legal KYC, but also Korean Blockchain Week, Token 2049, Sanctum Offsite, etc. It didn't move as quickly as we wanted to. I think this would be a great time for us, right? Both Sanctum and Defiance to kind of like take the learnings internally. And like I definitely want this not to be the first and only proposal set by a liquid fund. But this whole idea of having community vote on OTC is very new, right? Like it's basically just MetaDAO that's doing it. And I think Sanctum is the only one that's doing it. Normally, you guys all know, right? For example, projects will just raise big rounds, right? Like, oh, we raise 10 mil from this and this fund, right? And to do this sort of public OTC is actually quite rare. So I think what we'll do is that we won't put up a proposal right away. We'll do some internal discussion, some post-mortem, and figure out what the right way to do this is. That's fair to, again, we want to be scrupulously fair to the community as well as fair to the Defiance team, as well as other potential liquid funds that might be buying in the future as well. Yeah, so I would say let's take some time to learn from this process, because again, it's very new to all of us.
Yeah, and thanks, FP. And if I may, I want to add a point, which is that usually, I mean, we don't have to go through this process. We just negotiate with the team directly, to purchase tokens of OTC. But of course, the Sanctum team has really high integrity and confidence in the token. So they're unlike other teams, but for other teams, like it is actually very bullish to have a liquid funds to buy your tokens, mainly because liquid funds will not they will not sell for they have the thesis and they want to see the thesis playing out, and they will bring in other funds as well to together promote about a certain protocols to tell the world about how much what's the fundamentals, if is it undervalued or whatnot. So a lot of protocols want liquid funds to own their tokens for this precise reasons. So I just want to be clear. Like we initially approached the team, of course, but in the end, we decided to go through this proposal as well to raise awareness and stuff.
I want to say like a big thank you to the Defiance guys, because it, like, I mean, to Eugene, right, and Arthur, like, for you guys' hard work, right, to even put this proposal up is actually a lot of work, both in, as we know, internally, a lot of back and forth. So like I just want to, like, thank you to big thank you to the Defiance team for putting up the proposal. And yeah, it's not easy dealing with this both internally and also externally. So I really appreciate that they took the time to do this.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're very happy to go through this process. I think this is the unique part and culture about Sanctum. Yeah, that we quite enjoy.
Yeah. Actually, this is a really good question that we're getting from the community, and this is also something that we've discussed and FP just touched on, which is what is the benefit to the community of the token sale? Would the spending of the raised funds be at the discretion of the community? Like literally, FP was talking about how we want to progressively move towards like the tokenization and the being very careful with the wording here, but like ownership, so-called, of the company, right? And so, like, yes, we would like if we're selling from the community reserve, then the community is going to have input on the funds that are raised, because the team certainly is a revenue generating business, but the long term, if you look at like let's say the 5-10 year future of Cloud and the Sanctosphere, Cloud fam should obviously have a say in the assets that are under the community's control. So that I think that goes without saying. FP, is there anything you want to add over there?
Yeah, so to the point, do we want, like, yes, fundamentally the community should kind of like control the proceeds, right? And that was the intention all along. Now, what I think is a little bit we have to be very careful is that we do not want it to be a situation where essentially anybody can raise up a proposal. It's like, okay, petition to send 50,000 USDC to my grandma, right, or to my girlfriend, right? That's not where we want to go at all. What I think where we're looking to go is where the core contributors of Sanctum still have the sort of like ability to decide what to do, but all of this is under control or under safeguards or guardrails by the community, right? So for example, if FP wants to do sort of like if FP is wanting the funds to do something like for the good of the company, then it's okay, right? It can be approved. But if it's FP says, hey, I would like to buy Lambos for myself and for Eno, then that would not be approved, right? So we want to have, we want to have like a framework where the core team is able to act decisively and quickly and has control, but at the same time, the community is there to have guardrails on egregious behavior, and this is ultimately good for the protocol long term. So that's where we eventually want to end up, and this is like one small step towards that.
Yeah. Obviously, Sanctum governance is continues to be an experiment where we are constantly learning new things about what works and what doesn't work. I think every single vote we get a little bit closer and a little bit smarter to the style of governance that we want to achieve. That being said, we're still a long ways away. Like I don't want any illusions here. We definitely have a lot more things to learn and more proposals to put up and more things to FAFO, right? So anyways, I would like to give a really, really deep thank you to Eugene and FP. I will, of course, be covering what's next, for Futarchy updates. So, Eugene and FP, feel free to stick around. But it's also Happy Met TGE Day. I'm sure there are people who are watching the stream and also the charts at the exact same time. So I'm gonna be wrapping up this stream. Eugene and FP, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much, Thank you, Eugene.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eno. Thanks, FP.
Adios. Okay. All right. So moving on to Siegfried was asking, would need you to clarify who can put up what kind of proposal and who can veto. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was saying earlier about how we are refining this process as we go. And so certainly those are things that we are working towards getting more clarity on. I'd say that Sanctum governance right now is very much in the early innings, and we have a lot more experimentation before we feel really safe, having a really concrete structure for how Sanctum governance works. Are there any ASR implications regarding this vote? No, not for this vote. And I wish I was home. I want to push the vote, but not home. Anywho, Futarchy update, Funtarchy updates. So we, of course, have the 3-day voting period, which started yesterday. And then we will get the results of Funtarchy, over on Saturday. So thank you so much, everyone who's been participating in the CLOUD-006 vote. I think the thing that I really want to stress here, I really, really, really want to stress here, is that as Eugene mentioned, we clearly could have and most founders just do it by themselves, right? They OTC their tokens. You know what I mean? They don't ask for community input. And so the thing I really want to hammer here is that this is your vote, guys. If you don't want it, that's okay. There are pros and cons to every proposal. And obviously there were things that if we had the technical capability to, we would have done a 7-day voting period. It just didn't work out this time because of the way the current system works. Another thing that we would have loved to have done is to push this proposal a little bit faster. But with legal review as well as some KYC requirements, that was just a little bit difficult this time. But also, to be very clear, this is your vote. The community decides. And so, yeah, just want to be really clear about that. Just want to put out, Siegfried said that I enjoy the quality of discussion here and on Discord, seeing team eager to answer questions and overall very meaningful debate. Yeah, we say this all the time in the beginning of the forecast. It's okay to disagree. That's not an issue. We don't have any issues with people who want answers to things. But we're all doing it in good faith, right? That's the point. No need to devolve into angry squabbles. We can keep the conversation very civil and productive. And I think we've tried our best to do that. And certainly we have learned a lot with CLOUD-006. So if you never want to miss another forecast, all you got to do is scan this QR code. And of course, whenever we have a new forecast, you will be duly updated. We love you all. Thank you so much for joining the Sanctum Forecast, and we can't wait to catch you on the next one. If you have any questions, then feel free to reach out to me. I've already reached out to a couple of community members. So yeah, just my DMs are open, my Twitter is open, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you again to Eugene, FP, and of course our very good friend Nick who put together this presentation. He should definitely get his flowers. Adios, everybody. Bye. Whew.